Hello everyone, my name is Prime and welcome back to another episode of ETS2 Showcases, but today's episode is something I thought I would never have to do, but I want to make it very clear that I stand with Ukraine. The ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict is something that I cannot pass over. This channel is built off of truth, peace, and freedom. And on a personal note, I want to extend my thoughts and prayers to all those affected, whether they're Ukrainian, the innocent Russian people that have been dragged into this unfortunate situation, and all my other friends over in Europe that are closer to the action than they may want to. So to show my support for Ukraine, I'm going to be delivering some much needed supplies to the Ukrainian border, or at least as close as I can get to. In ETS2, we can get right up to the border of Ukraine, more or less, and I'm going to be doing so by delivering some much needed humanitarian supplies to Lublin. And of course, you can see by the truck, I have downloaded and installed the absolutely amazing Ukraine truck and trailer skin pack that is available on the Steam Workshop. So of course, it will be linked down below, of course, with the other mods that I am doing. So as I roll out here, I just want to say I'm happy to be back on ETS2. In a way, this is not the plan, actually, what I had for this episode. I've been away from doing, well, especially ETS2 for a little bit now, but in general, the longer episodes for a bit. I've been very busy. My plans for this episode were definitely going to be a lot more lighthearted, I will give it that much. A lot more not happy to be back, and of course I am. But I felt it was, well, of course, it's my right, and it's definitely my duty to promote this issue and this conflict and to try and show my support for the Ukrainian people. Of course, there are many great organizations out there that are providing many different resources for the Ukrainian people. So I highly recommend, if you feel like it, donate to those great charities and great organizations that are helping and assisting with this really unnecessary issue that is happening right now. This is obviously something where it gets into personal opinion, but judging by the reaction of almost everyone in the world, it appears as if we're finally on one page on an issue, and I am happy to say that it is for the right reason. Ukraine is a peaceful and independent democracy. They have been now for a bit, and from what I can tell, correct me if I'm wrong, they've finally been able to get back a bit on their feet from the many issues in the past because of the Soviet Union. Of course, now, unfortunately, I don't even like saying the country of Russia, because we've got millions of Russian individuals who are protesting against the war itself, or the invasion, depending on how you want to say it. So long story short, I pray that this gets resolved very peacefully, or at least as peaceful as it can, and I stand with you, Ukraine. You have my back. So now let's talk a little bit, I guess, back to the lighthearted stuff now that I've got that, I don't want to say out of the way, but definitely cleared up on where I stand. We have had a lot more news on the Heart of Russia DLC, and I don't really know what the situation now is going to be on that, because it's a hard thing to talk about, I guess, now, unfortunately, because the Heart of Russia DLC is the next expansion coming for ETS2. But since the Ukrainian or Russia-Ukraine conflict has started, we haven't actually heard any news on the Heart of Russia DLC, so I'm not quite sure where SES stands on that. It's kind of a hard situation because it's a virtual map DLC for a video game, but yet it's kind of in a way promoting the Russian landscape, which is kind of a hard thing to be promoting, I guess, right now. It's a very fine line, I guess, and so we have had quite a bit of information prior to this, obviously, and the map itself is looking great, and I don't want to take anything away from that, and I'm sure SES Software has a plan, or at least a plan that is continuing to evolve, depending on what the situation is, but you know what, the Heart of Russia DLC is going to be a great expansion. No matter what is happening in the world currently, it is still going to be a nice expansion whenever it does decide to release. And besides that, well, I have been very busy the last week. Actually, there's been I guess it's been about a week or just over a week now of no real longer episodes. It's just a little Prime news every here and there. I'm not gonna lie, I've been busy. That's something that I can't get around. And this week, though, as far as I'm aware, I have got plenty of time to try and make up for some lost time. We're going to be doing lots of fun episodes this week, but I made sure this was going out first. This episode is definitely the most important, in all honesty, compared to any of the episodes that will be going out this week. It doesn't matter if there's a Prime News on a release date, even though I'd be extremely excited about it. It's nowhere near as important as this video, just because this video is this video is how we have to stand together. This is not a matter of, well, unfortunately, it kind of, I guess, is political in a sense, but I want to see the best community ever, and of course, the Prime timers, all of you guys, all stand together with Ukraine. Put this skin on your truck, drive it around, take screenshots, share it on social media. We may not be able to physically deliver materials to Ukraine, and I know I can definitely support financially, but we may not be able to actually deliver the humanitarian aid that is desperately required. But we can do this. We can drive in ETS2 or ATS if you really want. It may even be compatible with ATS, the skins. I'm not 100% sure. It says possibly something on the Steam Workshop page like it, but I'm going more on the ETS2 side. Stand with Ukraine. Promote this. I mean, it's a really nice skin as well, so I mean, at least it looks good as well, but that's not the point. Choose your truck. It's compatible with any of the SES software trucks as far as I'm aware. And support Ukraine. That's all I ask. I'd love to see it. Tag me on Twitter. Put it in the Discord server if you're part of that. I want to see it. I know you guys are great. I think we can come together on this. And I'd love to see the best community ever stand together with this issue. Didn't mean for that to kind of rhyme, but it kind of did. Nonetheless, it is really nice to be back here in ETS2. I actually really haven't been driven too much in this area. I know I have done some deliveries in Poland. Obviously, I have discovered these areas, like the cities before, but I haven't really done too much in the line over in this area, and I really got to do more now in the eastern section of Europe. But now that I'm kind of back doing this more, I can definitely do that. So this week, what you will probably see is, of course, this video. If you're watching this now, thank you very much for the support here on the channel and for this very important issue for us to be promoting. When it comes to other episodes, you of course see American Truck Simulator, possibly even twice this week. There's going to be a lot of uploads. We're going to be doing, I'm planning on doing a SnowRunner episode, a 1 or 2 racing videos, which is going to be great, and of course any other Prime News that gets thrown in there. I'm hoping to pump a lot of content in to make up for some lost time within the last couple weeks when it comes to videos, and I think it will be a lot of fun. And it's also good to have some of these more lighthearted things as well, because right now the news is unfortunately filled with a lot of depressing stuff that should not be happening. But it is, and I guess one benefit, well, I don't even want to say benefit, that's not a good word for me to say, but I guess one side of it is that we're not hearing as much about COVID-19, or at least not here in Canada. The news is basically strictly on the Russia-Ukraine crisis, as it should be, but it is still a little bit depressing to see how selfish, that's the best way for me to put it, how selfish the Russian leaders are in forcing this invasion that is just not necessary. They have their huge, beautiful country when it comes to landscape. Let the Ukrainian people have their own. That's the best way for me to put it. I know a lot of various news and analysts are saying the same thing. At this point, why disrupt the peace in Europe? They've finally had more peace in the European countries after the total destruction that happened during the World Wars. This has now just upset that, and it's really hard for me to see. In all honesty, I'm very thankful to be over in North America, a bit farther away from what's happening, but I can't express how sad. That's really it. How sad I am to see what is happening, and my thoughts go out to everyone who is affected or is possibly affected by this issue. Well, we're in Lublin, people, which is great. I'm hoping this episode is a little... I was making it a little bit shorter so it can get out. I'm actually recording this on the Monday. If you're watching this on hopefully the day of release. If not, if YouTube decides to process it for an eternity, well, I guess that's so be it. But I'm really hoping this can go out same day because this needs to be shared across with people. We need to make sure this message is heard. The best community ever, and ETS2 players stand with Ukraine, and we're doing everything we can to deliver the needs the supplies they need. I know some countries are supplying more military aid, some countries are more humanitarian. It doesn't matter. No matter what country you represent, as of right now, almost all of the major countries, if not all of them, are supporting this issue as they should. And I am pleased to say that we're going to get... I'm praying we get through this as one, and Ukraine holds their ground and the Russian leaders pay for it. That's my hope. But, I gotta make a right turn here. Almost forgot. I guess that's 2 times in this episode that I've almost missed or almost messed up where I had to go. I'm not gonna lie, this was actually a very hard episode so far. I mean, now that I'm at the end, for those who are continuing to watch, you can hear about this. This has actually been a very hard episode for me to record. If you've wondered why there's been some chops, I've had a very hard time trying to keep stuff flowing because it's a very heavy topic for me to be doing. It's one that's 100% necessary. Oh yes, and I also have JC's sound mod still installed, hence the noises that you hear. It's a very important issue for me to be covering, and I don't want to just kind of put it aside. It's one that deserves to have a spotlight in a video, and definitely one that deserves the attention it is getting, because the Ukrainian people do not deserve what is happening to them. And it's I would never... I didn't even think twice about basically throwing out my plans for today's episodes that I had written down to switch it for what we have now. This is an issue that we all need to tackle, and I'm not going to put my ETS2 my schedule in front of this issue, because that is not how I do it here. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Once again, please share and support the I Stand With Ukraine, or Stand With Ukraine campaign, I guess you could say, that's happening right now. This is an issue, like I said multiple times in this episode, that just should not be happening. It's heartbreaking to see, and it's time we all stand together on a major issue, put aside the political side of things, and do what is right. At this point, this is what is right. Ukraine, I stand with you. My thoughts and prayers are with all of those who are affected by this and possibly will be affected by this. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.